Hi, this is Therese with One Mother and One Daughter, and I'm here today to show you some things that I've been doing. I'm going to do a birthday card, and I know everybody's doing birthday cards, but this video is less about the birthday card and more about techniques, if that makes sense. So, let's get started. I'm going to do an A2 size birthday card. So, I already cut my paper 4.5 4.25 by 5.5 A2 size. Now, before I get started making this card, let me just say that I have noticed that there are not a lot of people like it used to be making cards all the way through. I mean, they're showing their work, but they're not actually doing the card. So, I'm going to warn you now, if that is the video that you're looking for here, I will not be doing that. I will be showing you how to make my cards basically all the way through. There are some parts of my card that I have already done, but like I said, this card is less about the card. It's less about, well, it's more about techniques and tips that I have done on the elements for this card. So, if you're looking for someone just to show the video, I have to admit, it will be a little long, but I want to show you everything. And since I don't know much about editing, I haven't edited, and I do not edit my videos, so you'll be seeing all my mistakes and everything that go along with this video. With that said, let's get started. I'm making an A2 size card, and I use papers from Die Cuts with a View. This paper is just like some cardstock that I got at Staples, and I tend to use that for my cards. That way I'm not throwing away my money. So all the cards that I will be showing you, because I have other cards to show you that's using the same cut and the same techniques, just slightly different in that I've used different paper. So for this card, I did use the Die Cuts with a View. I'm using this paper, and I've had this a while, so they're kind of like all ripped up. But this paper that I'm using came from the nursery. I believe that it came from, yeah, it did. Came from the Die Cuts with a View, Nana's Nursery, Baby Girl. But all the other cards that I'm going to show you also came from Die Cuts with a View. So I already mounted the pattern paper on some solid pink Recollection paper to go with the pink that's in the pattern paper. And I inked around the edges of this particular paper with Tim Holtz, what is it, the sugar one. Yeah, spun sugar. I inked around the edges with that. All my cards I inked around, and I'll tell you about that when I get to that. So I inked around, and I used my tape gun to adhere it together. So moving this aside, I also use, let me tell you just quickly, is that I use my Gypsy for all of my projects. But I have to tell you that my Gypsy years ago has really stopped doing all the functions that it should. So I guess, no, I'm not going to zoom in because I don't want to zoom in. But you know, on your Gypsy you have your template and your different layers. My Gypsy does not. My Gypsy, when I hit the layers button to have all the different layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, I can't do that on my Gypsy. Now the crazy thing about it is that I sent my Gypsy in, and they don't even know why my Gypsy doesn't do that anymore, and they won't fix it. So even though they can't fix it, I'm still working with it as is. So I'll go to my template and try to show you. Now I'll zoom in what I did. Can you see that? Okay, yeah, I'm in good. Okay. Now what I did, I'm trying to follow through my camera because it's way up there. So I'm gonna, okay, let me just move out just a little bit. Okay. So what I did was I used, for my cut, I'm going to use a cake cut. I'm going to use this cake cut, which is from, it's been so long. That is from the Sweet Shop. Okay, so I used all of the elements from the Sweet Shop. I cut out all of the elements. And let me just show you so that you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to move this aside. Even though I already put this together, I'm going to move this aside. I'm not going to tape it down yet. I'm going to show you what I did with the cake. It comes 1, 2, 3. Okay, it comes with basically 3 cuts. Alright, let me see. 1, 2, 3. I'm not missing anything. Yeah, it comes with basically 3 cuts. 4 cuts if you count both of those pieces. But what I wanted to do was I want to enhance my cut. So I'm just not going to put this on here in the cuts. So, the magic of TV. Yeah, the magic of video. I ran my cut. It would have came like this. I ran my cut through the cuddle bug. I'm sorry, I meant to bring you back out. Okay, I ran my cut through the cuddle bug. I also didn't want my straw. I didn't want the stand, because this is the bottom of the cake. I didn't want the bottom of the cake to be the same color as the strawberry. So I cut another piece using, I didn't cut out the whole piece so I could try to save my paper. Can you see that? That's just the bottom. What I did was, I took it, I'm going to have to bring you in again so I can show you. Some of my cuts are overlapping. I'm going to bring you in so that you can see my cuts. Can you see that? I can't even hardly even see myself. Okay. So I'm kind of trying to bring you in kind of close so that I can show you what I mean. Hope you can see this. Okay. Okay. Now what I did was I took the top of the cake, same size as the cake, the same size as this, same exact size, and I moved it all the way to the edge of my craft mat. That would be, show you on the mat. I moved it all the way, okay, here's my mat. I moved it all the way to the very edge so that only this, part would cut. That way I wouldn't waste a lot of my gray paper, which is going to be my stand or my cake. I hope that makes sense. But if it don't make sense, once I put it together, you'll understand what I'm saying, okay? So I use this gray paper to cut the stand or my cake. Can you see that? So when I cut I can actually just rip this off, because I'm not going to use this part. So you can see it like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on the bottom of my cut so that my cake stand is not the same color as my strawberry. Does that make sense? Okay, yes, that makes sense. Okay, so I did that for my cut pieces. I also used, this is another pattern piece from that same paper stack, and this is a cut from the Elegant Edges. And I used the cut and I used the shadow. I also inked around the edges with the Tim Holtz. So, let's get started putting these pieces together so that you can understand more what I mean. Okay? Get my paper towel. Now, moving these other pieces aside before we get to it, I want to show you how I frost my frosting and make it look cute. Now, I have tons of Martha Stewart glitter, and I really love this glitter. Where did I put it? Oh, tons. It's tons to me because I had it for a while and I didn't reuse much. I have 2 packs. I have like this candy pack, which comes for a 12 in a pack, and then I have this big pack, which is like the color of gems, and I really love the colors, and I haven't been using them, as you can see, but I'm using them more once I found to do this technique. So for this particular card, I use the cotton candy. I use cotton candy pink on there. Yeah, I use cotton candy pink to frost the frosting. And I use this, what is this? Liquid glue, the essential glue pack. It comes with the pack, but I mostly, well, for this project I did use the pad, but the glue pad, but I mostly use it with my water brush. Let me take some of the water because it's kind of soaked up in there. And what I do is I put, this is a really good technique. I don't know if anybody else uses it, but this, Martha Stewart says that her glue was the best to put on her glitter glue, but to me it's not. I mean, the coverage with this is really good. So what I do is I'll put a little glue on my piece, or I'll put it in like a top, and I use my paintbrush and I paint the whole thing. I mean, I love the coverage that it gives and the look that it gives on the cards. So let me just get a spare piece of paper. I might as well do both of them because I can use it for another project. So I'm not going to use it on here because I have to let it dry. So I already did one, but I really just wanted to show this technique. So can you see what I'm doing? I'm just taking the brush. It doesn't have to be a water brush. It can be whatever it is that you have. It doesn't have to be this color. It can be whatever color you want it to be. Okay, so, and I'm putting it here so I don't get my glitter stuck to the glue part. I'm going to pour the glitter over. I like to use the same color paper or close to the color paper of the glitter that I'm using, so that it can be really bright. So, and I want you to take a look at the coverage. I'm going to zoom you in. Isn't that just beautiful? I'm zooming you in really close. Look at the coverage. Let me move this out the way so you can get a really good look. See the coverage? And the iridescent, how it moves, and how beautiful it looks. Now this is just on the frosting. I mean, it's not put on a cake or anything, but I'm going to move you back out. Okay? Shake this other one off and put my glitter back in. The tubes are really small. I know most of us has this glitter glue because, this glue, because, I don't know, because it's Martha Stewart. It's really, I do think, even though everybody know how I feel about Martha Stewart, but I do like her products. And it's very, very fine. I really love her glitter, and it comes in all of these beautiful colors. So that's how I do my frosting. So I'm just going to move that over to the side. I'm going to show you, I'm going to put my glue out the way, and I'm going to show you what I did. I don't even know. Where's my paper here? Okay, just 1 second, let me get some paper. I don't want to glue up my cards. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I put my my cake together cut from the sweet shop. So I already did this here on this frosting, and I ran it through my sticker maker. Oh, let me show you, because I don't know if I told you this video is loaded with tips. I see somebody else having a hard time using their sticker maker. So what you do, you run it through. I try to get as much use out of it, so I ran these two together. And I usually take my stylus that I have for a long time, and I go around the edges of something like this. That way I don't have to spend a lot of time afterwards folding the glue under and trying to get it from under. I go around my image. Then I turn it over and I rub the whole thing. My image and the part that doesn't have, I know that's on the, let me turn it like this. And the part that doesn't have my image on it, that way it can pick up the tape, glue, or adhesive or whatever, you know, that's on it. Then I take it off. And you see how it comes up? If you don't do that, you'll see it peeling up with the whole thing, and that's just not good for me. So, okay, so here is my cut. Again, I forgot I'm using white paper. Here is my cut. And now I could just put my frosting on. This is the bottom. This is the top where the strawberry will be. And as you see, there's no glue in between the edges because I did that. So that's like the second tip I gave you, besides using the first one was the glue, the glitter, and that's my next tip. Isn't that just gorgeous? I mean, even without the strawberry, but I'll show you what I did with the cake. Okay, I'll show you what I did with the strawberry too. So now we're going to get to the cake stand. Now, let me just show you. I can put this on here, and that's cute. Like that. And the strawberry, isn't it? Let me remove it. Okay. That's cute with the stand like that. But I wanted to also enhance that. So, I have this. I'm going to get a piece of foil tape. Small piece of foil tape. So this is from a project that I used and I cut down, and I just saved it because I knew I would need it for something. Just gonna rip that in half. I'm gonna use my tweezers to take the back of the foil tape off, if I can get it off today. Doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to take it and place it on top to cover the whole bottom of my cake stand. Now, you could just rip off the edges because it don't really matter. Okay? So I'm just going to use my static taker offer just to take the stickiness off the back so that it doesn't get my scissors too gummed up. Okay? So now I take my scissors. Tati, you finished taking out your hair? Tatiana. Okay. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut carefully around my cake stand. like so, and underneath it. Every part I just roll it under with my fingers. Tati! Oh, you finished taking out your hair?
No.
Okay. Okay. And I'm just gonna cut this part off. Sorry. But she has school tomorrow and she has to take out her hair. And I have to be on her or else she won't do it. And I don't want to spend all night braiding her hair for tomorrow. They have tests next week and I want to do it and be done with it. So I just take my bone folder and smooth it out. It's a cake pan. And now I'm gonna run this through my sticker maker. Using my tip. So I don't get those little adhesives stuck around it, which I call boogers, because it gets all dirty and it looks really gooey. So that's what we call them here. So we go again. In the garbage. Here I go. No little glue spots. Okay, so now we're going to put that on the bottom of our cake pan. On the bottom. On the back side. Smooth it out. Okay, that's a little bit uneven. You can see the cake. Can you see that? Okay, that's good. It's going to stay like that. And now I'm going to take my cake. Oh, well, before I put my cake on, let me tell you what I also did to this. Am I not in focus? I'm sorry if I'm not in focus. Okay, that's better. Before I put this little green thing on the top of the strawberry. Before I did that, I took my brick red. This is just regular Recollection cardstock. I took my brick red distressing ink and I went around the edges just to enhance. Can you see that? Enhance the strawberry and give it like some highlights as if you were you colored it or whatever, so it can like pop out. And I used the Martha Stewart glitter on this piece also. So now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it on here. And instead of smashing down my dots, I'm going to take my tape gun and I'm going to go right on top of the cake. Now, if you're doing it like this, be careful not to go so close to the edge, because the strawberry, you'll put tape on the strawberry. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Because the strawberry is in the cake. And for that, I just take a little and go around the top with my two-way glue. Because when you're giving someone a gift, the worst thing that could happen is for it to come apart. So I like to be frugal with my supplies, but I also want to make sure that it sticks well for the person who's getting it. So I know that was a lot of talking. I'm not cutting this video into two unless I have to. I'm trying to get it down. But isn't that just beautiful? I mean, you've done a lot to it, but it didn't take a lot of time. You just use your Martha Stewart glue, your Martha Stewart glitter to enhance the frosting. Put some foil tape for the pan so it's separate, and it's just beautiful. I just love it. It's so cute. Okay, so now we can begin to put our card together. Okay, so I'm going to move this to the side. I'm going to take my, let me make sure it's on the right side, my tape. really need to get some more tape. I'm running low. I like to buy them 12 or 24 at a time. And it's been a while. Okay. So just so you know, on all my cards I usually say I cut 2/8 off so that I can have a border of 1/8 around each side. But in this case, I didn't want too much of the pink show. I just wanted to enhance the colors that were in the pattern paper. So I only cut 1/8 off the pattern paper to show the pink through. And I cut the pink paper 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 so that you couldn't see the white. We're just using that as our base. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to put this even because I don't want any white showing. So, and on top of that, from the same paper line, is my elegant edges cut, and I'm going to place that in the middle. But before I do that, I have a piece, same cut, but it's just the border part. And I have a piece that I'm going to put at the bottom. I'm going to put happy birthday on it. But I need to show you how I do that. My friend, you know, this would be really crazy if I couldn't find it. I really tried to organize for this video. Let me see. I really tried to organize for this video to make sure I had all my pieces and everything that I needed to show you. But it's always something that you forget or you can't find. So I guess that is one of those times. But I have to tell you about this. Please let me find this so I can show them what I did and what I have and what I got. Okay, I guess that's not going to happen. I have to show you that in a future video. I did a swap with my Facebook group. Oh man, I really wanted to show you this. And my swap partner Janice sent me a centering ruler. So I guess, okay, I'm not going to be able to show you that, but a centering ruler. And I think that's like one of the greatest things that I ever got. And I knew that I needed this ruler. I'm actually trying to find it while I'm talking to you. I knew that I needed this ruler because I was having like a really hard time centering things. I didn't tell her that I needed this, but that was just one of the things that I got inside of my box. And it's just the perfect thing. Now I can't find it to show you what a centering ruler is. Oh man, I wanted to show you this ruler. Okay, maybe I can find it by the end of this video and I'll show you, even though I needed it for this technique. I have, okay. Let me look here, one more place. Okay, I can't find my ruler. There's my ruler. Okay, I can't find my ruler, but anyway, so let me just show you this next technique. I've never used glitter on my sentiments or my words, but since I did glitter this, and it's a birthday card, I wanted to spice it up. I've actually made glue, how can I say it? Glittered the sentiment. Does that make sense? Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I used a stamp for my happy birthday. Despite what this seems like, I did organize this video. Okay, from Scrappy Moms. I used the happy birthday from that line. And what I did was, I wish I could find my centering ruler. I took my glue, even though it's a little sticky already, put a little on my pad. This is the pad, the glue and the glue pad. I love this glue. You have to get this glue if you have Martha Stewart glitter. It's called Liquid Glue for the Essential Glue Pad. Now you can buy this as a refill. You can search eBay because I bought refills. Michael's don't have this as a refill. They sell this, but they don't sell it as a refill. And just use this without the pad. Or you can get the pad because you can do your sentiments. And I haven't seen people doing this as of yet. Doing their sentiments and stuff like that in glitter. So, okay. What I'd like to do is take, what did I do with my pad? Take this embossing pad and I'll go over my image. I mean, my paper that I'm going to stamp my image on. There's a lot of powder in this. And I'm just going to eyeball it this time. But the centering ruler is really good. I'll show you. Hopefully I can. You see, I'm just taking my stamp and patting it on the glue. On the spot where I put the glue and on the side. So I just don't have too much glue on it. Like pat some off. I'm going to use this as, I'll just do it and I'll show you. Hopefully I can get it in the middle. If not, oh well. Okay. I'm just eyeballing it. And I don't want to push too hard so that my letters smush. Because whatever the letters is, just like when you're stamping, that's where your glitter will be. Just move this to the side. Same, actually, no, I won't use the same pink because it's going to blend right in. I think I'm going to use white. So this is the Crystal Fine one. And I'll just use white. And the effect that it gives is very, very, very beautiful. Okay, so. Wow, I don't know. You can barely even see that. Can you see that? I don't know, but let me show you this one that I did. Because I'm not going to even be able to put that on the card because it's wet. So, this is the one that I did for another card. So, can you see the shimmer on that? And this is dry. I can touch it and it's not coming off. This is what I like about this glue. I'm rubbing my finger over it. Can you see that, love? And it's not coming off. And this is the pink. I rubbed it over the white glitter. This is what I love about this glue. It works perfectly for Martha Stewart. Now, I don't know about other glitters, but I know that it works perfectly for the Martha Stewart glitter. So I'm just going to put this over to the side. I'm going to pull you back out. And I'm going to dump my glitter back inside. Because you can see I'm using this up. And you just keep using it and using it and using it. Okay. Just really quickly. Okay, so let's put that to the side. And that's what I'm going to put on the bottom of the card. But I can't do that now because it's wet. And I don't want it to smear. I did that before. So I'm going to put the rest of the card together. And like I said, I know this was a long video, but you did get a lot of tips out of this. Didn't you? I think so. So we're going to place this here with enough room to have our sentiment. I'm going to leave that because I like, even though it's very, you almost can't see it, but it kind of goes with the rest of the card. So even though I was going to change that to a brighter glue, a brighter glitter that you could see. I don't know, I might just leave that. So, I'm sorry, I think I'm getting a cold. You hear my voice? Okay, so we're going to pop that up with some foam tape. It's cheaper. It's cheaper. And I wanted to do everything on video so you could see everything step by step and how it looks. I don't see many people doing that on their cards anymore. What's her name? Gloria still does that. I like to watch her videos because she does the videos all the way through. Shout out to, I think it's Spy Rock Gloria. I don't even know if she's a subscriber of mine, but I'm a subscriber of hers. And I'm going to put tape, mounting tape, foam tape, whatever you want to call it, on the back of my cake. Because I want that popped up also. Okay. So lots of tips in this video. I hope y'all still hanging on. Because I have, I think, like 1 or 2 more. Oh shoot, I forgot to take my pieces off. Let me just put this back on. I'm putting the tape back on because I forgot to take some of my cake plate off so it could fit properly, or fit nicely on my frame. So I'm just using this as a border. I'm going around making my mark so I know where I'm going to cut so that my cake pan doesn't spill over my frame. If that makes sense. How many times have I said, does that make sense? Well, does it? Okay. I thought it would. So I'm going to try to go in the same spot where I cut it so it doesn't look odd. Right in the middle. And now I'm going to place this on my card towards the top, leaving room for my my sentiment. Okay. Putting it closer to the top. Okay. Now, for the inside of the card, like I said, you're hanging in there with me. You're getting a lot of tips today. I'm just going to move my card over to the side. I don't want to get any stuff on the inside of my card. I don't like to leave it blank. Now, before I got my books, I would scour the internet looking for sentiments or making up my own sentiments because I am talented like that. I am. But I have my books a long time, so I must say that I love them. I'm going to show you. I'm kind of doing... Okay. I'm going to show you my books. Okay? These are my books. What can I say about these books without making this go for a whole hour? I love these books. Whenever I'm at loss for words and it's something that I want to say and I can't find the words myself, I go to these books for inspiration. What I also do is, if I find a poem in a book, either I like it, well, I do like the poems, but I always try to add my own little touch to it, or to personalize it for the person who's getting the card. Like if it's my sister and it says like sister, I may take sister out and put my sister's name or something like that. But today I used this book and I used a sentiment from the birthday. What page is that on? It's not this one. It says, smile, it's your birthday. Do stuff you're not supposed to do. And I added my own thing to it. Okay, here's the sentiment. It's smile, it's your birthday. That's one poem that's inside of this book. And it's the another part. Another poem is "It's your birthday. Do stuff you're not supposed to do." That's another one. I put two together and added my own little thing to make it my own, and I added "and have fun." So it says, "Smile, it's your birthday. Do stuff you're not supposed to do and have fun." And this is from the Ultimate Perfect Card on page 134. On page 134. Where is it at? Okay, it's on this page, believe me. Okay, this is for this card. I'll show you that card in more detail. And I wanted to use, this is her new book. Wow, and she signed it for me. I wish she would have put my name, Therese, but she signed it for me. So for this card, why don't you keep saying for this card, I used a sentiment from her new book, which is The New Ultimate Guide to Perfect Word, and that will be on page, from the birthday sentiment. What did I use? I used "May your cake be plenty." Oh, did I use that? No, I didn't use that. I used "May your birthday." I didn't use that either. I used, where it's at? So many cakes, so many candles, so many cakes. No, presents, cakes, and candles. Oh my, happy birthday. How time flies. Time flies. That's what I used. And Linda Latour, she actually wrote this poem. The poems have different people who wrote in the books. So what I did to do this, I know I'm like kind of going quickly, so let me slow down so you can understand this part. I know we buy stamps and everything, and it's really quick and convenient to just get the stamp out and punch it on, but you don't have stamps for all of the phrases and things that you hear. So what I do first, hey baby, okay, she wants some love. Wait a minute, I'm thinking, oh, look at his hair. I'm going to give you some love. What I did was I ran my paper, you can see right here, I ran my paper through my printer. I have a top load paper through my printer the first time, where I can see where I want my sentiment to be and how I want it to look. Then I take my, I'm going to show you how I do this. I take my cardstock that I'm going to use, and I put 2 pieces of adhesive on the back. Can you see that one right there? Just so it can hold it down good. And I positioned it up at the top and evenly spaced on each side, so that I can get, so that it can be even, and it could be, how can I say what I'm trying to say? There's equal amounts of space on each side, and I can position it exactly where I want to. I do that on the computer first, and then I place my card evenly, looking down, flush with the top of the cardstock, and I press it, and I put it back through the printer, and that's how I get that. And if you use different colors, you can't even tell that this is not a stamp. So that's how I do that. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does? Okay. So that's what I used for my cards, so that they don't be blank. I'm going to do a tutorial next on these books. So I just wanted to show you that real quickly. So we're going to take that sentiment. I'm going to tape up the back. And we're going to place that okay. What did I do with it? Wow, I seem damn unorganized, don't I? Okay. And I cut this one 2/8 here and 2/8 here, so that there's a 1/8 border all around. Does that make sense? Okay. I wanted more of the border to show on the inside, since I am using such pretty paper that matches the outside, of course. But I wanted that to show more. Use some more adhesive on this because this is die cuts with a view paper, good quality, but there's a lot of glitter and embossing on this, and I don't want this to come up. So I'm pressing this down really well. Okay, and I'm just going to quickly take my sugar, spun sugar, and go around the edges. Just a little. Okay, too much. And now I'm going to take this to the inside of my card. I don't need as much adhesive on the back as I put on the front on the pink paper because there's no embossing on that. Put it flush with the inside of your card, flush with the bottom and the top. Okay. Perfect. And there's your card. I'm going to show you the other cards that I made, and I'm going to put this. This is another card that I made. Same cut, same cuts, same thing. The only thing is it's a different color, and it also gives it a different look. But while I have you right here, this is another sentiment. This sentiment is from her first book, and I'm just going to tape that down. And I really like to use up all of my paper, you know, since I paid for it. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to put tape in my pay for it. And I'm going to see, I use this paper to cut out this sentiment, but I still have room around, so I'm going to use this for the inside of my card. Take that down. I love this paper. It's so beautiful. Make it flush. Oh. Did you see what I just did? I put it upside down. It's another tip if you didn't see my other videos. The easiest way to take your tape off is with your spatula. Turn it over, make it flush. Okay, and there you go. Beautiful card. I want to put that on the front since it's dry. Up a little bit up from the bottom. But enough where you can still see the happy birthday. You see I'm putting my hands all over this and it's not rubbing off. So those are my tips. I also want to show you the other cards that I've done in different colors and show you how paper makes a big difference. I mean, these can be kind of girly and maybe even a little young. Then I have these, which look even younger. Same cuts, different color frosting, but this can be like geared towards more like younger girls, and this can clearly go for like a teenage girl or young woman or woman. An adult woman can have that. Then I have these two, and these papers are the same papers. I just inked around the edges with the Tim Holtz, I think it's the T one. It was the T. I actually used all of these on my cards. So I used for all of the cards spun sugar. Not all of them on all of the cards, but you know, the green I used on the green card. I used the shabby chic. On my strawberries, I used the strawberry part. I used the fired brick. On the orange part of this card, I used the spice marmalade. On the cake, I also inked it so that you can see the depth. If you look at this card, you can see the depth of this card. I used the vintage. No, I didn't use. I used the walnut stain on the chocolate part of the cake. I used the walnut stain. And on these cards, I used the vintage stain and the tea dye. Actually, on this card. I just used black soot on this to blend in with the black. But on this one, I used the tea dye. It's the same paper. It's just switched. And the card is embossed, says happy birthday with the embossing glitter in red. I thought that it would be cute because it'll bring out the strawberry. Also on this one, I stamped that image, and I stamped it with my glitter glue. It's not coming off. It's just beautiful. And I used a couple of stamps in this. Okay. I know this is from Pink by Design. The Inside Out card. Well, I'm not going to say Pink by Design. The Inside Out card, I can't remember. I think it's Pink. It's somebody. And for the Have a Wonderful Day, I used this stamp from the Scrapbooking Queen, the King stamp. I used to Have a Wonderful Day. And I used my glitter glue to put that on. Can you see? You can feel it. It's just like embossing. And it's beautiful. I just blacked around the edges to let it go with that. So these are the same cards. You see how different they look? The paper looks. It's the same thing as only flipped. So, yeah, that's it. I have one more card to show you. I have these two cards. So you can see the different looks that you can get. In this card, I put the banner up and put the sentiment actually on the card. You can see they're all inked around. Everything's inked around. The cake has walnuts so it can look like chocolate. You can see it better in this sample because I used more. Okay. With these two. Same papers. I inked around this one with more orange so it's popped out more. And I used orange glitter on this side. I think that's called like orange sickle on this one and pink on this one. And then I have these two cards. So I'm going to put the sentiment down at the end. So I know this was a long video, but you did get a lot of tips. I showed you a lot of things, and I showed you my new book. So, oh, I'm so tired. I think I need a nap. So I hope that you like this video. I hope that you comment. I hope that you rate it because I am leaving the ratings on. And I hope that it was very helpful and you can use a lot of the tips that I've gave. So that's it for my video. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment. And try to make some of these cards. Use up some of your glitter. I mean, the Martha Stewart glitter is beautiful. And if you don't have the Martha Stewart glitter, or you have some other glitter, because as long as it's fine, I think if it's like a really fine, then you'll get away with it. But if you don't have that and want it, it was like, okay, I'm just going to use it for one project, but what am I going to do with all that glitter? this is what you can do. And you don't just have to do it on cakes. You can do it on hearts and, you know, different things. But I know if you have the Sweet Shop cartridge and you have glitter, you can do a lot of stuff with this. So pull out your glitter, get you some of this glue, and enhance your cuts with and spark them up. Girls like glitter. Anyway, that's it for me. Leave your comments and rate, and have a good day. This video is going up today. I know I don't post my videos on the days that I do them, but this video is going up today. So thanks for watching. Bye. Therese with one mother and one daughter.